Yo, what is going on, guys? I'm back again with another video, and in this video I'm going to be comparing the Soundpeats Capsule 3 Pro versus the Air 3 Deluxe. So both these headphones, they're pretty similar in the structure, the way that they're built, but they do have some similarities and differences, especially when it comes down to specs. But before we get into that, you already know what to do. Let's get into it. Alright, so starting off, looking at them both, they really do look similar in shape, size, and in build. Even the structures are the same, but you'll start to notice the differences once you actually get both your hands on these things. So the Air Deluxe 3 is more like the younger brother. It's lighter and it's less prone to fingerprints, whereas the Capsule 3 Pro, it's much thicker, and you'll definitely notice the weight shift as soon as you pick these up right after picking up the Air Deluxe 3. Another thing too is the Air Deluxe 3, the pairing button is at the front, whereas on the Capsule 3 Pro, it's at the bottom. And looking on the inside, there isn't much difference. They're practically the same once you look at the inside. And for me, my personal preference, I really like the Air Deluxe 3 case better. It's just much more sleek, it's much simpler to carry around, and overall it just looks better, honestly. Now the real differences you'll start to notice once you take the earphones out of the case. So analyzing them both, you'll see that the Air Deluxe 3 is more akin to an AirPod type earphone, whereas the Capsule 3 Pro is more like a classical type of earphone with the ear tips. And analyzing closer, the Capsule 3 Pro, they kind of took advantage of the gold strip. It kind of looks better, it's more presentable, and the design at least stands out, whereas the Air Deluxe 3, it's more so just for minimalistic type. And so if that's what you like, then that's your type of earphone. Besides that, they're roughly the same size, and that's kind of surprising because the cases do differ to some extent in the size. I did notice that the Air Deluxe 3's touch capacitive buttons are more responsive than the Capsule 3 Pro. But beyond that, there's obviously more than just those things if you want to consider between the two earphones. So now let's take a look at the specs. So starting off, they're both high-res audio certified earphones, so the quality is going to be already at a high standard. But the Capsule 3 Pro is more focused on hybrid noise cancellation, whereas the Air Deluxe 3, it's more focused on ENC, environmental noise cancellation. And also one key difference is that the Air Deluxe 3, it has sensors, so it can pick up whenever you take off the earphones from your ear, and in that moment it'll pause the music, and then when you put it back into your ear, it'll continue playing as if nothing happened. I think the biggest difference is definitely going to be the battery life. So on the Capsule 3, you have 52 hours combined hours, and on the Air Deluxe 3, you have only 20. So this is going to be an inconvenience if you're going to go with the Air Deluxe 3, because you'll find yourself needing to charge more times than you would if you had the Capsule 3 Pro. And the Capsule 3 Pro at least will do you better if you're one who travels a lot on long flights, or if you're trying to listen to a podcast, because you'll need to charge less than you would with the Air Deluxe 3. And also both do come with game mode. The Capsule 3 has about 70 milliseconds latency, whereas the Air Deluxe 3 is between 60 milliseconds and about 80 milliseconds. So if you're someone that prefers battery life, then obviously the Capsule 3 is the one that you have to go with. But the most important part when it comes to earphones is obviously the audio. So let's go into that. So when it comes to the raw output, the first thing that stood out to me was the noise cancellation. When I was using the Capsule 3 Pro, I noticed that the noise cancellation was overall just better, whereas when you're using the Air Deluxe 3, it just feels as though it always has transparency mode on. And so what this means is it's not really as good as the Capsule 3 when it comes to noise cancellation. Some ambient sound still leaks through, so in overall noise cancellation, the Capsule 3 is better. But as for the audio, after testing, the Air Deluxe 3 actually does have better audio. It's much clearer and it sounds more distinct than on the Capsule 3 Pro. But in terms of comfort, the Capsule 3 Pro also has it beat. So the bottom line when it comes down to these two earphones, what you have to realize is that the Air Deluxe 3 just isn't as good as the Capsule 3 Pro when it comes to spec. If you're someone that prefers a slicker design, a much better look, and something that is prone to less fingerprinting, then the Air Deluxe 3 is the way for you to go. And honestly, because the case just looks better design-wise. But in my personal opinion, I prefer the Capsule 3 Pro. It's just my type of earbuds. I prefer the more classical types, and I'm willing to sacrifice the lighter case for a longer battery life, just to last me longer in the long run. But that's just my personal opinion. Let me know what you think. If you found this video helpful, you already know what to do. I'm out.